Welcome back, trainers, and let's go ahead and talk about the Retro Cup, which we're going to be seeing in Go Battle League tomorrow. So this should be pretty interesting. Excluded types are going to be Steel, Fairy, and Dark. So for instance, if you do have an eligible type, which is, say, Water, and it's also going to be part Fairy, say Azumarill, it's not going to be eligible because it has one of those types that cannot participate. That's alone changing the meta with just Azumarill being removed from the equation. Steel type, then you got the Galarian Stunfisk, which is quite troublesome, and you do have to worry about that and specific counters for it. And then dark types are also going to not be eligible. So this is going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen here. Taking a look at Pvpoke, you have your various different types, and I'll talk about that here in a moment. Now, the reason why I don't jump on this right away and start talking about it, there's no problem in doing that, not at all. It's never too bad getting an early start on what you could potentially look out for. But as we've seen quite a bit of times over and over again, for these kind of specific cups that Niantic is introducing, we have the meta, Pvpoke, the best site to go to for your PvP information. There's other ones out there, but this one is very, very organized and well put together. So no discredit to this or anything like that. But when we actually go into the league itself and play this cup, it's kind of a little different than what we would potentially may expect. And then it does kind of shift and mold and change throughout the time that is here. So that's kind of why I don't really jump the gun on that. But I did want to go over it because you guys were really asking for my opinion. So here we go. And I'm going to go over what types I think are going to really stand out towards the end of this video after we're done looking at Pvpoke and just kind of brushing through what Pokemon we have that you can expect and what moves that they're going to potentially have or what you want to be using yourself. So with that said, let's see what is going on here at the top of the list. Now this is going to be just overall. As you've seen, there were various different categories for leads, attackers, switch, and all that stuff. We're actually going to take a look at that here in a bit as well. But going down the list, you've seen the XL Lickitung at the top. Now, I personally don't even have the XL candies for that. I mean, I haven't pursued it. Whenever we had the opportunity to do so, I haven't really been going hard on it, but it's definitely going to be a good Pokemon. Very bulky, so you're going to have a cautious mind about that going into this. It's going to have Lick, so your potential Medicham, which is going to counter it, is doing super effective to it, but it's going to also be doing super effective with that Lick. So another thing to take note of. And then you also have Frostlass, very spammy with the charge moves. You have to consider that. The Pokemon you're going to be using. Dragon types are also going to be able to roam around a little bit more freely, seeing that fairies are going to be out of the equation as well as steel. Both of those types they do not really want to see. So Dragonite, Altaria are going to be having a field day in this cup here. Should be pretty funny. Something to note, there is going to, there's going to be charm users that are not charm, but I think they're dark. So I'll have to get back to you on that. I do have specific Pokemon that I think are going to really shine, aside from what we're going to talk about at the end of this video, but I don't want to get into that right now. We'll talk about it when it's officially here and I'm using it and showing you the battles myself, okay? So with that, let's go ahead and keep moving down the list here. This is going to be Dragonites, so not a bad lineup of Pokemon that it is going to be able to go up against. Just want to see what this Shadow Dragonite can do up against Altaria, how close it is going to be. So Altaria is going to be able to take the cake, both dealing super effective to themselves, but then you got the Altaria that's going to be a little bit bulkier, not Shadow and all that stuff. So also more built for the Great League as opposed to Dragonite, which is going to be more of an Ultra Master League Pokemon and not even tanky, even with its regular form. Looking at Munchlax, I actually did make one. Unfortunately, I only have, this is going to sound weird, hundreds, 3 of them. One's maxed out, not at 50, but 40. And then I did just power 1-up, spend like 3,000 Stardust, bought the secondary move. It's no big deal. Worst case scenario, I have 100 Munchlax with a future potential move for Snorlax. Not saying a community day, but you never know. You might just get a move where you have to evolve it like Breloom. How come we haven't seen something like that come back for a while? Or have we? Maybe I'm just out of it. Anyways, going down the list, we have Goodra there. Now let's go ahead and just get into the different categories. We have lead. Lickitung is still looking good. Dragonite, Hypno, Frostlass, Driftbloom, Abomasnow, Talonflame, Abomasnow Shadow, Cresselia, Deoxys Defense is also going to be a Pokemon that's going to shine for sure. Psychic types are going to do well. And then we have closers here, Frostlass, Regice, Deoxys Defense, Electivire Shadow, Regirock, Mewtwo Shadow, Raikou Shadow, Chansey is eligible, XL if you have one of those. Have fun and good luck going up against them. Now, if you got some fighting, you're going to be able to take care of those things. Alright, now these are Pokemon listed as your swap. So we have Frostlass, Cresselia, Lickitung, Hypno, Mew, Goodra, Zangoose. All of these are somewhat tanky other than Frostlass and Zangoose. Deoxys Defense form has a bit of bulk. Galvantula definitely not bulky, but has resistances, I suppose. Everything does. Gyarados, Pelipper, Celio Shadow, that is available. Dragonair Shadow. So there you have for your switches. Now these are, not set in stone. This is just listed by figures, by numbers, backing them up and what they can do up against what is available here. Now these are going to be chargers, Pokemon that can charge: Frostlass, Drifblim, Zapdos, Abomasnow, Swampert, Gengar, Zangoose, Abomasnow again, Flygon. You keep seeing something consistently showing up, that's going to be Frostlass. Oh yeah. And now we have attackers. From what I can see, a lot of bulky Pokemon. So this is, I'm thinking more of the damage that they can output per the time that they can stay in the battle, or they're just able to stay in, therefore they're putting out more damage. So I'm just going to go off of that. So we got a lot of bulky Pokemon for that, mostly XL. Got the Chansey, Lickitung, Cresselia. Of course, it's just normal XL Wobbuffet. I still am working on that as well. Moving down to just plain old consistency, you have Dunsparce at the top. You got Dunsparce at the top. I wonder how good that is going to be. I already know who's going to be using that, so I'll definitely be watching that on Twitch. It's going to be pretty funny. Personally, might use it myself. Have a lot of shinies. Who knows? I think I need to go through them and see what IVs we have going on. But be cautious, guys. This is a great site, like I said, but don't just go and start powering things up based upon what you see here. Everything's going to be performing good up on the top, but, work with what you got first. So, like I said, we're going to go over what I think is going to shine, and what are those types. I think it's going to be Dragon and Fighting that are going to shine here. Now, there's something very interesting that I want to show you here, and that's going to be Chestnut with Smackdown. It's going to be able to handle those flyers to some degree, doing super effective damage. It's not getting stabbed, but it's going to be able to really tear into them. Then you have Superpower for those normal types, and Energy Ball for whatever else you need to handle. And then you have Metachan, which we know is going to be great. I recommend Ice Punch. And for the other one, who knows, you may want to just go with what you think is going to be good. We did take a look at Pvpoke. I'm going to be probably changing that Psychic. Surfetched, also another good one that I think is going to be performing quite nicely now that Azumarill's out of the equation. Steel types are gone. This is good up against Steel, so we'll just have to see. But Fairies, goodbye. And just moving down the list here, we have your various different ones. Of course, the Dark types, so no Scrafty or Spylus. Hitmontop, another pretty interesting Pokemon, although you can just go with Machamp Rock Slide. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you all next time.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!